What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm assuming if you've clicked on this video, you want to be someone who's in shape, confident, successful, someone who has the confidence to be able to pursue the goals that you want, to be able to go talk to the women you want, and someone who's capable of getting erections so they can have sex with their girlfriend or their partner. And I'm assuming you're also someone who wants to avoid feeling like a weak man, feeling like a bitch, not wanting to get out of bed in the morning, feeling depressed, feeling anxious, not feeling confident to attack your goals. If you're the type of person who wants to move towards the better side of life and move away from that drab, dull existence, then I'd probably suggest you should watch the rest of this video, because sugar might be one of the main culprits keeping you in that dull state and preventing you from going and leveling up. So don't skip on this, because this may change your life. So like I've said, sugar is the main culprit. We all know what sugar is. It's processed sugar. It's that white table sugar, that stuff that you see in everything. You hear people talking about it, but you're not really sure why it's bad. You know it's bad for your teeth, but why is it bad for men? Well, like you've read in the title, it completely fucks up your testosterone, and I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why processed sugar is so bad for you is because it causes something called insulin resistance. So we're gonna get a little bit nerdy here, but I'm telling you this is gonna be really worth it. So when you overconsume on processed sugar, what happens is it raises your blood sugar levels, okay? Because more glucose enters your body, your enzymes in your stomach break down the carbs from sugar and it turns into glucose. What happens is those glucose levels throughout your day, if you're eating a lot of sugar, they go up quite a lot. Whenever you eat carbs, glucose and your blood sugar is going to raise, and normally that's fine. But what happens when you chronically overconsume on sugar is your cells can actually become resistant to insulin. Okay, so when I'm talking about your cells, I mean like your fat cells, your muscle cells, the cells in your body, and then the tissues in your body, okay? They're resistant to insulin. Now, what insulin is a hormone, and it's released in your pancreas. Now, insulin's responsibility is to deliver the nutrients that your body metabolizes from the food you eat. So obviously, think you eat some food, it digests, it metabolizes in your stomach, and then what happens is the enzymes break it apart into its, all the vitamins and minerals and the macros, and it distributes it around your body. And that's what insulin is responsible for. Basically, see it as like a messenger, right? It's all like the mailman. This motherfucker is delivering the shit from your food to your body so your body can function properly. But the problem we have when you overconsume on processed sugar, so let's think like cakes, biscuits, sugary cereal, sweets, chocolate, energy drinks, all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm on about. When you overconsume on that daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, across your life, you become insulin resistant. Okay, so some of the things to look out for when you're insulin resistant is, you're chronically fatigued, maybe you've got a bit too much belly fat, you don't feel good, you feel sluggish, you're constantly hungry. Those are pretty clear signs that you're insulin resistant. So the way insulin resistance affects your testosterone is, okay, so firstly, we're gonna begin if you're too fat, okay? Okay, so one of the main problems with insulin resistance is you're likely gonna be too fat. So you can probably look at your belly and maybe you've got a bit of fat in it, you can't really see your abs. What happens with this kind of body fat is these fat cells, these extra ones as a man, if you don't have abs or if you have a high body fat, right, contain an enzyme called aromatase. Now, aromatase is completely fucking awful. You really don't want this, because what it does is it converts all your precious testosterone into estrogen. Now, estrogen is the female sex hormone, testosterone being the male sex hormone. So you need to think testosterone is going to be the hormone that's going to make you feel masculine. It's going to make you feel strong. It's going to give you a high libido, meaning you're going to want to have sex. It's going to make you want to go out and work and serve and be better and improve your life. Estrogen, on the other hand, is going to make you feel like a woman. It's going to make you feel submissive. Obviously, not saying all women are weak, but for men, what it's going to do, it's going to make you feel weak. It's going to make you feel like a bitch, like a pushover. You're not going to want to go attack your goals. Your emotions are going to be all over the place. You're going to be anxious and you're going to be depressed. So you really need to take care of your fat cells. And obviously, we can do this by cutting out processed sugar. This is what I'm getting at. In order to be able to combat insulin resistance, you need to cut sugar out of your diet. Because when you cut sugar out of your diet, you're not going to be over consuming. Likelihood is you're eating way too many foods that contain way too many calories, meaning your body is gaining more energy in the form of calories than it's expending, meaning your body, well, it's not going to just get rid of it, it's going to put it in fat cells. And if you've got more fat cells, guess what you're going to have more of? Aromatase, meaning any testosterone that you produce is going to turn into estrogen, and it's going to aromatase into estrogen, meaning you're going to feel like a bitch. This is why guys get man boobs, because they start to develop female characteristics. They have less body hair. This is where you get male pattern baldness. You run into a slew of issues: erectile dysfunction, you don't sleep properly, loss of muscle mass. It's fucking awful, and you really don't want it, okay? And another thing, for you skinny guys who say, oh, it's not really a problem, it is a problem. So if you're sitting there saying, oh, I'm not obese, I've got abs and whatnot, but you eat processed sugar all day, it's been shown that insulin resistance and having chronically like fucked up insulin levels reduces Leydig cell function. Now, what the Leydig cells are responsible for are, they're found in your testicles, and 95% of the testosterone made in your body is from your testicles. Now, it reduces the function of the Leydig cells, and the Leydig cells are responsible for making said testosterone. So even if you haven't got a lot of testosterone aromatizing into estrogen, what's going to be happening is your overall level of testosterone that's going to be produced when you sleep is going to be limited, because your insulin resistance is actually hindering your body's ability to actually have the Leydig cells to function. So this is why it's so important for you to be able to cut out processed sugars, because if you want high testosterone, if you want to have virality and vitality, you want to feel strong, feel confident, feel powerful, feel capable of actually changing your life and your situation, then really adjust sugar. Cut out all the crap, because it's not serving you. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, I pulled a sneaky on you, mate, because I don't eat none of that processed sugar. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty healthy. I just, have artificial sweeteners. Oh, you have artificial sweeteners, do you? Oh, well, let me tell you, artificial sweeteners also fuck up your testosterone. So, you're like, yeah, you know what, mate, I have my no sugar monsters. Yeah, they're not bad for me, mate, because they haven't got processed sugar in. Well, there might actually be a chance that these artificial sweeteners are actually worse for you than processed sugars. So the main culprits being sucralose. Look on the back of that can of Monster that you drink, guarantee it's going to have sucralose in it. You've got things like aspartame. Look on your Coke Zero, that's got aspartame in it. Stevia, this is what people put in their coffee or their teas. They say, nah, mate, don't worry, I'm not having sugar no more, as they put like 3 teaspoons of stevia in it just to sweeten it up. Now, the problem that we have with artificial sweeteners is they cause inflammation in your gut. Now, your gut is a very intricate kind of network, and it's basically linked to your brain through something called the vagus nerve. Now, what your gut has is this really cool thing called a microbiome. Okay, so this illustration here resembles your gut and your gut microbiome. Basically, what your gut microbiome is you have trillions upon trillions of different bacteria in your gut. Some good, some bad. What we want to do is basically get more of the good bacteria in your gut than there is bad bacteria. Because what bad bacteria in your gut do is do this thing called inflammation. You know how you get a sore throat, or you get a sore ear, or if you get a thorn in your thumb or something, it goes all red and puffy? When you consume artificial sweeteners, it actually increases intestinal inflammation. Now, this isn't going to manifest as pain. Sometimes it could be. It can manifest as bloating, excess gas, a little bit of discomfort when you're eating food, but more often than not, it's going to manifest as headaches, depression, anxiety, random anxiety spikes, brain fog, okay? Now, let me explain something to you. When you consume sucralose and the like, let me just put that there like that. When you consume sucralose and the like, I want you to see these little dots, the green ones being the beneficial bacteria, the good bacteria you have in your gut, and the red ones being the nasty bacteria that you don't want, that increase inflammation, okay? Remember, inflammation lowers testosterone, because what it does is it increases your body stress hormone. And now your body stress hormone being cortisol, okay? So when cortisol goes up, your test actually goes down, because your body needs to create testosterone when it's in a parasympathetic state, which is basically your rest and digest state, okay? So when you consume your artificial sweeteners because you think you're being good, what you're doing is you're actually creating inflammation in the gut. So now, because you've got your artificial sweeteners and you're saying, yeah, mate, nah, mate, honestly, I don't consume no processed sugars anymore. You know what, I'm being really good. You're actually inflaming your gut, you're making it more unhappy, and you're actually increasing your cortisol, which is your body's stress hormone. Your body feels like it's under attack. Inflammation is a reaction to something in your body which it isn't happy with. So you're increasing your cortisol as a result of it, and you're reducing your testosterone. So if you think you're being clever by just not eating processed sugar, I would highly urge you to think again, because this stuff is really detrimental and it just slips through the cracks. You know, you think you're doing good, but society's not teaching you this, because corporations, big corps, make a fuckload of money on you by selling this zero sugar bullshit, but it's actually worse for you than sugar. So you really need to be careful. And I'm going to give you the solution. The solution being, sorry if you can't see this, fruit, honey, and veg. You need to eat things from nature. So one of the biggest problems we have within the nutrition and the fitness and health industry is a lot of people really can't wrap their head around the fact that stuff that is found in nature is typically going to be better for us. Now we can obviously make the argument that with industrialization and capitalism we lose a lot of the nutrients, but we've got to work with what we've got. A lot of the processed man-made stuff, all these chemicals, actually serve very little purpose to your body. And more often than not, they're going to cause more harm than good. They're just going to cause a lot of harm. They're going to make your body not work, and they're going to reduce your test. When you eat real food from nature, there's a reason why it exists, because this stuff contains vitamins and minerals that actually enable your body to function better. So when you eat fruit, when you eat honey, and when you consume good veg that doesn't upset you, you actually enable your body to have the necessary resources to increase your testosterone. So the moral of the story, just stop eating shit. Stop with the dopamine craving, needing desire to have shit food all the time. You need to see sugar and processed and artificial sweeteners as a recreational thing. Do it every once in a while. Don't do it all the time. If you do it all the time, you can't be complaining that you're not feeling the way you want to be, because you're not putting in the effort that you need to put in. Okay? If you want mediocre results, have mediocre inputs. Have that stuff every day. But if you truly want to take care of your testosterone, focus on the stuff that's actually gonna change your life and get rid of the stuff that's ruining it. If you want to be like other guys who I've helped transform, click the link in the bio, bro. You know this stuff is going to help you. I hope you found this video helpful. Comment in the comment section below if you've got any more questions, and I will catch you in the next one.